Oh man, what a race I've just witnessed. The Daytona 500 was absolutely thrilling. It's never dull, is it? It's never dull. It's the great American race for a reason. It is so entertaining, action-packed throughout. I absolutely loved it. But what were the 5 main things that we learned from this one? The 5 highlights from the 2026 Daytona 500. Let's go. So one of the first things that we learned is that it was not going to be a straightforward day for anybody, particularly, of course, the 2-time winner in a row from the last 2 years, William Byron. He was looking to make it an incredible three-peat this year in the Daytona 500, but it wasn't to be for him, unfortunately, this year. Like I said, it didn't really go that well from him on the off. He had a couple of very hairy moments in that first stage. In particular, he was getting bumped by Shane Van Gisbergen. SVG was wide a couple of times as well, getting involved in all kinds of incidents, unfortunately for him. So he was never really in the mix to be able to win the Daytona 500 for the 3rd time in a row in 2026. Because of all the chaos in the closing stages, though, he did manage to classify in 12th position, which is a minor miracle considering where he was in just the first stage of the race. But don't worry, we'll talk about that chaos very shortly. I'll give a mention to Zane Smith for the second thing we learned, because he got his first ever stage victory in this. There's 1-2 between him and Austin Cindric. Cindric pushing Smith to the line, doing an excellent job of doing that to win the first stage. Effectively, the first lot of those drivers, the leading pack of those drivers, stayed out on the alternate strategy. Everybody else around them, and indeed ahead of them before that, they ended up pitting on going on the alternate strategy. And the alternate strategy for tyres and fuel really did shape this race. It made a fascinating contest in the final stage in particular, but we'll get there pretty shortly. Third thing we learned is that it was not going to be an incredible day for Connor Zilic, someone who's a teenager still, incredibly, 19 years of age, I believe he is. He's the most hyped up NASCAR rookie in the Cup Series. He had a few Cup starts, of course. Last year is in 2025, but he's very much the most hyped up teenage debutant in, or full-time driver anyway, I should say, rookie, since Jeff Gordon back in the day. It's been that long. It's been that long since we had someone of this kind of caliber, but experience did show, and in Zilic's case, unfortunately for him, it did mean that we had a lack of experience there. In the second stage, he was trying to go for the lead, got a little bit loose because of that, and then there was a chain reaction behind. Even if there's no contact between him and the people behind, they slow up, which means other people slow up, and eventually there is a point where unfortunately people do go wide, hit the wall, hit into each other, and that's exactly what happened. A lot of people took out in that first big one. Notice I say first, not the only big one by any stretch of the imagination. There were more when it came to this. We had another massive one there. Denny Hamlin essentially tried to go around I think it was around the inside of Justin Allgaier, who was in the lead at that point, or very much at the front anyway, but he was closed out by Allgaier. Allgaier spun, and then there was a huge pile up behind. Not that many people being knocked out by this. And before that as well, we had a fascinating fuel strategy. I mean, everybody was pitting at different times. The Toyota trying doing their own thing, didn't really work out for them. The Fords then trying doing their own thing as well. Everybody pitting at different times, and you had several different lead groups all trying to draft, because of course the draft is so crucial around Daytona. You could be the fastest driver in the world, right? You could be absolutely incredible, but if you don't have a draft, if you don't have that slipstreaming kind of power or lack of drag, I should say, you really are nowhere in terms of pace. So you need to be going as a group around Daytona if you're going to be competitive. And when everybody pits, obviously that gets kind of thrown out of sync effectively, and because of that, yeah, it was so fascinating. And then we had that last final big one there in stage 2 that just kind of set everything into chaos, really, particularly in the last stages of stage 3, where we very much had, last thing we're going to talk about, we very much had a race of attrition when it came to this, not because of the reliability, but because of the different pit strategies, like I mentioned before as well. It just threw everything out of whack. We had a late collision, brought out the caution, 4 laps to go. Everybody was going for it in these last stages, and there was a big group of about 15 or so at the front. They were all in with a shot of being able to win this one. There was a mini wreck, there was a few people going wide, no caution there, and then there was another wreck right on the line pretty much. Everybody coming across the line, some people going straight forward, some people going across it sideways, some people going across the grass, Lightning McQueen style, it was everything going on in this one. And in the end, in the end, it was Tyler Reddick. Tyler Reddick managed to win it for, of course, 23-11 Racing. With everything that's been going on in the world of NASCAR, with everything that's been happening, Michael Jordan's team, Denny Hamlin's team, they managed to get the win at the Daytona 500, the first championship race, as it were. Obviously, we had the Cookout Clash a few weeks ago, but that's not a championship race. No points from that awarded in the NASCAR Cup Series Championship. Points very much awarded, though, in the Daytona 500. We had several big ones. It was such an eventful race. I loved watching it. Very, very entertaining. The finest of margins. Of course, Reddick almost got spun out right at the start of the race. I think it was after 5 laps, something like that. He very narrowly missed another spinner in that. But these are the fine margins that you find at Daytona and in the NASCAR Cup Series. And if this is like a microcosm of what we can expect during this season, we're in for a hell of a time this season. I am absolutely looking forward to this. I am so looking forward to this season in NASCAR. It's been so long, hasn't it? I'll just quickly go through the running order at the end of it because you guys might have missed it because, again, everybody was everywhere at that point. But Ricky Stenhouse Jr., he ended up getting second place. Joey Logano got third. Chase Elliott in fourth. Brad Keselowski, brilliant for him, in fifth. Zane Smith, obviously that stage win for him earlier as well in stage 1, gets sixth place overall. Chris Buescher in seventh. Riley Hurst in 8th place, out of nowhere to get that. Brilliant for him. Josh Berry in 9th, and that guy again, Bubba Wallace, in 10th place overall. Brilliant, brilliant contest. The Great American Race, living up to its fantastic name. But what do you guys think about the Daytona 500 this season? Let me know in the comments below. Like, share, comment, subscribe, guys, for plenty more action here on the Motorsport Reports. See you soon. Have a good one.